A few months ago I did a comparison between the new Primus Lite Ultra stove system and the Jetboil Stash stove system, as these are the two lightest stove systems currently on the market. However, as you can put together your own stove system, I thought I'd compare the one that I think comes closest to the Primus Lite Ultra with the Primus Lite Ultra. And the system I've chosen is the Fire Maple G3 pot and another Primus stove, the Primus Micron III. Now, to look at the pots to start with, as you can see, they're about the same size, they're about the same diameter, they both have heat exchangers on the base. The differences are to do with essentially minor things like the type of handle and the type of lid. Both of them will hold 700 ml. I tried to get the 800 ml in this that Primus say. It's called the Primus Lite Ultra 0.8 litres, but I couldn't actually get a full 800 in. It was maybe 750. This one is 700 to the top, but Fire Maple say the maximum volume, practical volume, is 600, and I think that applies to both of them. So you've got two pots that are roughly the same. There's not much difference in weight. This one is slightly heavier, which I suspect may be due to the handle weighing more, and perhaps the lid weighs a bit more as well. But essentially, they're the same size pots and they hold the same amount. So that's the pots. The stoves, however, are completely different. The Lite Ultra, as you can see, is a fairly squat, bulky stove, and it fits onto the bottom of the pot. And once it does, it's solid. The lid isn't, but the pot is solid. That's not coming off. And it has a piezo igniter and a flame control. The Primus Micron III is, as you can see, tiny. I can just about hide it in my hand, and it's an almost standard now three-legged stove, three-armed stove rather, and that's it. This doesn't come with a piezo igniter, but you can get one with a piezo igniter added, which adds a little bit to the weight. Has the same flame control as the other one. That's the only thing they have in common. This one is meant to be quite a lot more powerful than this one. It's got getting on for twice the energy output, so we'll see how that happens in practice. This one, however, is quite quiet, and also, again, as you can see when it's on, it's going to provide some wind resistance. This one, which fits into the three slots quite neatly on the bottom there, but you can see there's still a fair gap for the wind to blow through. And while you can't tip this, you can tip it a little bit, but you don't have to tip it far before it starts to fall off, because it's not locked in place, unlike the other one. So these are the two units. In terms of weight, this is 238 grams. This combination is 225 grams. If you use the version with the piezo igniter, this one is 240 grams, so 2 grams more than this. So in terms of weight, there's not a significant difference. In terms of price, there is, because this one is, I wrote it down, £145. This combination is £84. So it's considerably less expensive. And this is mainly because of the pot. This stove is £60 on its own, but this pot is £24. But certainly you can buy this unit for much less than this one. So I'm now going to do boil and gas weight tests with both of them, and we'll see how they perform. I'll start with the Primus. Attach it to the canisters. The canisters I've got are both Primus ones. Easiest to do this without the stove on, without the pot on rather. There we go. And I'm going to put what is, the normal 500 ml of water in. Here we go. Yep, that's it. And put the lid on. So let's have the stopwatch ready and turn the stove on. And wait for the water to boil. One thing I like about this stove is it's very quiet. Amazingly so for a gas stove, which quite often roar quite loudly. However, I suspect the reason for that is because it's not actually very powerful. But if you like quiet and you want a gas stove, this one certainly provides it. Another good feature, not I think as significant as the quietness, but it's quite low profile. As you can see, if you put this next to it, how much higher this is than this. I think that is good, for stability, especially when using the smaller 100 size canisters. Well, I can hear the water starting to move around inside, which again is an advantage with a quiet burner, and we're on 1¼ minutes. The conditions are reasonably mild. There's a slight breeze, which mostly is keeping the midges off. Temperature's 13 degrees. Oh, we've got steam coming out. We're at 137. The sound of the water is quite loud now. I will wait until steam is rushing out of the vents, and then I will call that boiling. And I think we're almost there. Let's have a quick look. Yep, not quite, but almost. The last seconds seem to be long ones. They often do when you're timing boiling water. Yep, it's boiling. So 235. And the next thing is to weigh the canister and see how much gas has been used. The Primus Lite Ultra used 9 grams of fuel, which is pretty good. So 2 minutes 35 seconds, 9 grams of fuel. Now let's see how the Primus Micron III does. Again, 500 ml of water, but in the Petrel G3 pot. Now this, as you should be able to hear, is loud. I don't think I'm going to hear the water boiling with this stove. But we'll see how long it takes and again how much gas is used. I should say neither of these stoves is regulated, so when the canister is almost empty, this one's almost full, and when it's cold, particularly when it gets down towards freezing, they will not be, neither of them will be as efficient. But I decided to compare both these Primus stoves together because they're unregulated. I could have used, a Pocket Rocket Deluxe or a Soto Windmaster, which will fit the Fire Maple pot, but they're regulated and very powerful, so I would expect, a much better performance from them. But as it is, they weigh more than this stove as well. I can also hear that the slight breeze is occasionally affecting the flame, which didn't happen with the Lite Ultra. So in windy conditions, you would certainly need a windshield with this, but we have boiling at 1 and water coming out, even though there's only 500 ml in. You can see why you certainly shouldn't put more than 600 ml in it. And that was at 145. So 145 is 50 seconds faster than the Primus, which again, as I say, because it's a more powerful burner, you would expect that. And as I say, the water spurting out there does show why 600 ml would be the absolute maximum. I mean, that was 500 ml. So And now to find out how much gas has been used. I'm going to take that off and weigh the canister. Well, eight grams, so a much faster boil, but only slightly less fuel used. So my conclusions really are the two systems are very similar. There's not much between them at all. The advantages of the Primus Lite Ultra are the low profile burner, the fact that the pot locks onto it, the wind resistance. The advantages of this are mainly the cost. It's a lot less expensive than the Lite Ultra. Using it with this stove, you would need a windshield in all but a light breeze. It's a much faster boil time, but really, as I've said in other stove reviews, I don't think that's significant. I think, you know, to boil 500 ml in 2 minutes 35 seconds is fine. Fuel usage is very similar. So overall, either of these I think will do fine, especially if the main thing you want to do is boil water. So there we are. Two stove systems, say similar weights, similar performances. This one, the boil time is a bit better. Oh, and this one is also quiet, which is an advantage. I wouldn't say one is better than the other. They're both fine, but as I say, this one is a lot less expensive. And if you get a regulated stove as opposed to this one, which will add a bit more weight, then you can use it with this pot year round, whereas this one is 3 season because it's unregulated. But there we are. Which would I choose? I think probably for warm weather in summer, I go with the Lite Ultra because it's so quiet and, you know, low profile burner. This one would be my second choice, but if I wanted a unit to use year round, I would rather have this one combined with, say, a regulated stove, not with an unregulated one like this. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting. If you did, please click on like. If you'd like to make any comments or have got any queries, please put them below. And thank you for watching. Until next time.